Corpsing on stage. What is it, and have you ever done it? It's certainly happened to me. So you may have heard actors talk about I died on stage, which often just means that they failed or they feel that they failed. Most importantly, perception is everything. In the case of corpsing, it's related to the motif of death that we use for these performance moments. And what it means is you start laughing, you break character on stage. And this happens more often than you would think, though actors do get very skilled at hiding those moments. I asked my partner just before I came in here to create my slightly theatrical space for you all, what worst moments was he either involved in or witnessed? And the two moments that he mentioned were about farting really loudly on stage. So I relate this to public speaking, and I think it's really helpful to have a game plan for this very particular event. And the lucky thing about being a public speaker, one of the advantages over acting, is that you can acknowledge it. And one thing I will say is that in my experience, we are more comfortable acknowledging bodily functions in the UK than we are in the USA. I mean, I personally never got away with an audible fart and everybody just pretending they hadn't heard in the UK. There would be lots of comments and jokes, which actually for me, I find more helpful because it normalizes this bodily experience. So, for example, my partner was talking about two different, I believe, Shakespearean productions in which one was where an actor had been faking a fart in character all the way through the performances, and that was part of what he'd prepared and was supposed to do. And at one point, he really had a very genuine and extremely loud fart, and everyone on stage, because they'd been there before, knew the difference between his fake farts and his real farts, and kind of had hysterics in front of the audience. The other one was also a Shakespearean actor, very dignified character, standing very still on stage, and in this still and kind of pregnant moment in front of the audience, also let rip a very loud fart. So ridiculous, isn't it? How funny those normal bodily moments can be. In terms of something that happened to me, it happened a few years ago when I was playing Gertrude in a production of Hamlet. And as you may know, if you know Hamlet, almost everybody dies at the end, and my character has just taken a poisoned cup and she has convulsions, and I was very, very proud of my death moments and my death throes, and and so I had this incredible authentic period costume, Elizabethan costume, very, very heavy, and I had to make my way down to the floor as I died. And as I did so, these ornate earrings caught on my lace collar. And I felt like I was going to basically make a hole in my ear. So as my waiting woman, actor playing the waiting woman, knelt over me, I went like this so she could see. And so then she took the earrings off of my ears and I started laughing, and I'd already died. So I had to pretend that this was sort of secondary convulsions. And I started laughing because I had this very ridiculous image of the waiting woman just waiting till my character Gertrude died to steal her jewellery. And of course she was helping me out, but I had this whole other narrative happening in my head. So this is what corpsing is. I find it fascinating how much we talk about dying on stage or dying in front of an audience. And I'll leave that with you today. I'd love to hear in the comments if you've witnessed or experienced any of those corpsing moments yourself. Please do share, because it is brilliant when people share these experiences. Here's to unlocking your performance power with or without corpsing.